This podcast is for a mature audience and may be viewed as inappropriate or insensitive to some.
Listener discretion is advised. The intention is to share conversation of like and unlike-minded individuals
as they try to be the best them they can be in a life full of challenges, searching for love, acceptance, and positivity.
Call 669-241-1422 and share yourself or catch up with SWEETBABY Jay for an anonymous face-to-face interview.
Feel free to call in with any questions, stories, thoughts, or anything you would love to talk about and share.
Talking with SWEETBABY Jay.
Nothing is off the table when talking sweet with SWEETBABY Jay at 669-241-1422.
Ladies and gents and ladies, you are here talking sweet with SWEETBABY Jay. We have life story going on here with this young lady who happened to find something that so many are looking for. Or maybe not. Maybe she found what many are not looking for in a place where they're looking for something else. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
There you
it's exciting.
Go. There you go. You are talking sweet with SWEETBABY Jay. This is always a no-face, no-case scenario. We keep it anonymous. But some people like to share their name. Are you one of those people?
No. I love the option of anonymity. Perfect.
From what I understand, you met your significant other in a very peculiar spot.
It's not peculiar at all. It's actually more commonplace than a lot of people would like to admit.
Okay.
But we met online at Tinder.
You met on Tinder?
Mm-hmm.
See, for me, I've never used it since Tinder came out while I was married. If I even admit to using such a thing, my ass is grass. But so I've never used it, and we're going to stick with that. How did this work out? Like, were you looking for a significant other?
I was, actually. Oh. I had just made a big move out of New York City. Moving and meeting new people is not the easiest thing to do, especially when you have kids. You kind of can't be like, oh, I'm going to go to the bar with, this coworker, this new friend. So it's a quick way to kind of interact without committing to anything up front. So that's why it worked for me.
Was Tinder the only app you were on, or were there like different ones, or how did that work out?
Let me tell you, that's the very user-friendly, free app. So if you want to quickly download something that you could kind of get started on right away, it's the go-to.
Really?
Yeah, but like with anything else, you kind of got to do your research and know how much time you're willing to commit, because honestly, I was on there for almost a year before meeting my person. So,
wow.
And
how soon did the relationship really pop off to the good stuff, and where are you guys at now?
Okay, let me say this. Before getting started and doing all this, like anything else that's new for me, I research. I was a person going online and listening to YouTube videos about dating coaches and life coaches.
Really?
And kind of figuring out how to, yes.
I did not.
If you're going to invest some, I knew what I wanted to get out of it. Before I put myself out there, let me kind of do the research and get a better understanding before jumping in.
I feel you, but I just didn't know that people really researched online dating like that. I thought it was just a matter of sign up, jump in the water.
Honestly, that's a probably downside for a lot of people who are on the platform that don't do that. Because if you want to have success, depending on what you're looking for out of it, yeah, you definitely should research and get some information and see. Or even some of the things, like some of the little things I did. I pulled up other female blogs, sites, and whatever, saw what they were writing, and just did things like that just so I, number one, gave my comfortability, see what would work for me, and take it from there.
I really thought people were on Tinder strictly to smash up. I did not know that people were really on there looking for relationships.
Yeah, I mean, it varies. So, what's good about that platform is people are very transparent on what they're looking for. But if you take the time where you're not being superficial and just looking at pictures and swiping right and left, you could actually really,
there's some quality out there.
Read the bios. Yeah, there's some quality out there. Yeah, for sure.
So, what made you consider this young stallion as the seed planter to be, or the
Right. Well, my fiance,
holla,
and hello. Honestly, what stood out for me in dating my fiance is he was very persistent in the chase. I was the point where I had moved from a big major city. I was a single woman, independent woman, single mom, and I was good alone. So I wasn't really chasing or begging, or I wasn't desperate per se. So he was very persistent in like, yo, I want you. And I'm going to get your attention. And I'm going to be, and he was consistent.
Well,
that definitely made him stand out.
And she is definitely something to see. It's not like she is. There's no pit bull going on here. She is definitely something to see. I mean, I know just getting out there was difficult. Coming from a big city to a smaller place. Why was there the difficulties in meeting someone still?
I was kind of strategic in it with all the research that I had done. So I knew when meeting someone where we'd actually have, the bio had to make sense to me. We'd have to actually connect through the app first before I, got comfortable with exchanging numbers. Once we did exchange numbers, I really got to know them maybe about another week and a half to just general text and to see what their method of communication was like, or what. After that, then if we didn't make plans to meet within 2 weeks, I felt like, okay, I'm wasting my time. This is not going anywhere.
And when you say we didn't make plans, meaning if he didn't step up to the plate and say, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, let me take you out. Yeah. I was like, I'm not looking for a pen pal. Like I said before, I was on there for practically a year before I met my fiance. So yeah.
So what made him what really made him stand out?
He was consistent. That was the major standout part where, after each day before I left that evening, he was asking for another date. And he actually took the time to get to know me. Ask those questions like, I want to know about you, your past, the kind of work you do.
He wasn't just trying to tear
level of attention was there. Yeah, no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. Oh. And I think what helped with that is, ladies, listen, take notes. I think you got to be upfront, be real transparent with what you want, in spite of what they're telling you they want. Because if they're not going to meet with your needs, then what's the point?
100% true. You fooling yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another thing that made him stand out is, I think a lot of men fear being, what I want to say, they're not decisive. He was very decisive and upfront about his intentions. It was like, I'm feeling you, and I'm at the stage in my life where this is what I'm looking for, and every action after that follows.
Okay, so he was really direct in his intentions, and that did it for you.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And, no one's perfect, right? Mm-hmm. I tell him all the time, like when I met him, I said, you shouldn't have been on a dating site, right? Mm-hmm. But in spite of all of that, no regret.
No, there you go. So where are you from? Nationality?
Queens, New York. Oh, I'm Jamaican.
I feel you, Yachty. And where is he from?
Kentucky. Country Kentucky. Oh. Think about derby racing and things like that.
Wow. This presents a whole nother thing because, it sounds like you met the stallion that you're going to be riding for a while.
I guess, yes, you can put it that way.
There you go. It's your Kentucky Derby winner there. So when you put it like that, you guys are culturally different. Is there a huge difference, him being from Kentucky, you being from Jamaica?
Yes, it's a major difference, not just culturally, but just even in how we react things and just how you're raised, just different. So, yeah, there's a lot of cultural and just differences, diversity-wise.
Have you guys taken that stuff into consideration when thinking about a long-term relationship? See, and the reason why I ask that is because for my wife and myself, we are incredibly culturally different. She's from Ohio, I'm from Costa Rica, and even the way we speak is very different. One day I said to her, can you serve me a plate? She was tight, like, serve you? I ain't serving you nothing. And I'm like, yo, boo, can you simply ask, I'm just asking if you could just fix me a dish. She said, well, say that.
Right.
I'm like, yo, I said nothing. So, culturally, there's the way we speak, the way we cook. There's so many. God, yes. Uh-oh. I said, did I hit a nerve?
Real story.
Hit me.
Real story. It was just Mother's Day weekend. And, West Indian food, our food is well seasoned, spiced, and, we could just about take about anything and make it our own, right? So, he's like, this food is not my favorite. So he was smart enough, God bless his heart, to cater a Mother's Day dinner because he knew anything else would not be acceptable. So we just do things different.
So he cooks, but he just does not cook the way that you would like.
If you call the version of what he does cooking, sure.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What are the two favorite dishes of his that he makes? Favorite dishes that he makes. What the favorite dishes that you cook that he likes?
Okay, so he loves turkey necks. He loves that, or oxtails. Loves that.
What was the first one you said?
I guess turkey necks. A lot of people don't eat that.
Oh, turkey necks. Yeah, I don't eat that.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar to oxtail. I really don't see a difference. That's his favorite, along with like a curry chicken.
Okay, and what is he cooking that has you saying, "Yo, can you make that again?"
He actually really surprised me with an amazing chili. It was delicious. It was really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
After that chili's a wrap, you prepared to eat chili for the rest
You
of
know,
your life?
I could season anything, and he'll grill it up really nicely.
Oh, so he a grill
But
master.
as far as him seasoning up some stuff, and like he's trying to make our Easter ham complete disaster. But he tried. You know,
you have to give some credit for trying.
Right, the effort's there. So I'm happy.
So when you guys were dating and, you know, really getting to know each other, how much did that come into play, the fact that there was a difference in culture?
Interesting. It does come into play a lot because, like, I'm from New York, so I'm fast-paced, right? So him being from Kentucky, I feel like sometimes things might
You run in circles around him.
Yeah, you said it exactly. It's kind of like, I need to catch up, and I talk fast, too. Those two things paired together, I'm like, okay, God, like, it's really taught me to be patient. Yeah, so I've definitely had a lot of patience in that regard.
That difference in culture is there. I do think there is a huge patience that needs to be put into it. And then there's also, so there's the patience that you guys need to have for one another. And even maneuvering through the relationship as individuals, I think that's one thing. But then there's a next aspect of it being that I'm very sure your families are probably very different as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How has his family and your family had a getting together, or will the wedding be the first time that you guys meet? How is that?
Well, I've gone to Kentucky. I've met his family. They're amazing people, but they're traditional Southern people. And I mean, not just everything. Like, they add sugar and butter to everything. Let me just put it that way, like the Southern country. You know what I mean? So, luckily, you know, I love his family. He loves mine. So it's been a really smooth transition in the mix. And I think what really brings that together is family's important to him. Family's also important to me. So having that community is good. And he likes to be around people and entertain and cut up. And he's just we're both really chill in that regard. When our family's amongst us, that's what we are projecting. So it's all good vibes.
One thing that people fail to take into consideration when getting together is family. You know,
100%.
You may be all into this person, but their family and your family, if they do not mix, that can be an issue. Or if you say your future partner or spouse doesn't get along with your family, that's an issue. I would never even consider such a thing.
Yeah, you're right. But my opinion on that oftentimes is typically it's expectations. People go into things with expectations like, well, my last ex, me and his mom was super cool, and I'll call her every day, and we go to the mall together, and I give her a ride here and there and there. So I think, honestly, one thing I had to learn is you take each relationship as its own relationship, and you have to allow it to develop on its own. Meanwhile, maybe his last ex, and his mom was tight, he had to learn that I'm not that person. I'm not calling up your mama. I ain't asking her for no recipes. That's just not who I am. That's just not how I operate.
Your mom might want to call me for some recipes, but I ain't calling her.
Right.
Calling her.
Right.
She better learn how to make this peas and rice.
Right.
Is it peas and rice or rice and peas for you?
Rice and peas. Come on, don't be foolish.
I ain't mad at you. There are differences, even for two people that are Caribbean, but from different places. There are huge cultural differences. Like me being from Costa Rica.
Let me tell you. So he was. We're actually planning our wedding. Playing some like oldies, like reggae, like some the '90s, early '90s.
A lot of Barris Hammond and stuff like that.
Barris, Shaggy, Beanie, like old music, like Red Rat, all of them. He's like, we're gonna play this at the wedding. I said, yes, the hell we are. The way he looked at me, I was like, you're kidding. You don't think we're not gonna play reggae, do you? He was like, I mean, I'm sure, but how much?
Listen, if I'm there and I don't hear any reggae, I'm gonna ask what's going on.
Okay, exactly.
I approach the DJ like, yo, stop playing games.
Yeah, he doesn't know the DJ that I hired is actually West Indian, so yeah.
So you already know what it is. So, but this is the next thing. So you're planning on getting married this year?
God willing, fingers crossed, toes crossed, the whole shebang. Yes, that's the plan.
There you go. So planning a wedding during the at the tail end of this. Well, we're hoping the tail end of this whole COVID-19. How is that going?
Oh, planning a wedding during COVID-19 has been, things just delayed, and I feel like everything's going in slow motion. And again, it's like just you have to kind of be patient because in the heights of trying to secure our we already have a venue. So we're trying to secure our caterer, florist, bridal gowns, suit rentals, and all that stuff. And the wedding, everything's a timeline. I guess all the collaborative people in the wedding industry are working together to kind of rush things at no cost to us, the consumers.
Well, that's what I was going to. Are they giving out deals?
No, there ain't no deals. People actually want more money. People want more money because they're not making money. So,
wow, you see that?
Only
BS
difference.
Right there?
Only difference. Right. The only difference I've seen is that a lot of people are requesting smaller deposits. But as far as a deal, no, there ain't no deal.
Let's say this corona fires up and you have to change the date. Is everyone saying, okay, listen, we know it's not your fault. We can push it back like the venue. Are they saying that they will change the date, change the time for free of charge? Or are they still trying to nail you to the wall on nope, this is the date?
No. Well, what's good is that they advise us to get insurance when we booked with them, which we did, and they got their insurance on there. And unfortunately, it's not at no cost. They do have in their contract a change of date fee. Although Corona is kind of considered like it's a natural pandemic, there's nothing that anyone could have really done to prevent it. But there is a cost associated with moving your date.
That's wild.
Another thing too with the venues opening up slowly.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
So it's like,
are they standing firm on that? Or have you actually asked them, like, hey, listen, if this does extend out, will we have to pay that fee in order to change the date? They said that they, or did you ask?
In the conversation that I had with the venue, it was, we have until, I believe, the end of June to decide if we want to move our date. In the event that we don't, okay, fine, business goes on. But the venue, let's say it could hold 200 people, they could really only host 25% of the venue space. What? So even if I wanted to invite 200 people, I couldn't do that regardless. Luckily, it was a small and intimate wedding. I'm not really running into that issue. But for other brides who are, that's another part of the puzzle that has to be considered.
Well, you know something, though? This might save you a lot of money at the same time. Because of the fact 25% of capacity is all that they can have. You know, let's say if it was $200 a plate, now, well, do they charge you more if it's less plates? I'm not sure.
Oh, well, how initially was like, if you had 100 and under, it was a fixed price. And, over 100 was a fixed price. So, yeah.
Well, you only got 25. Yeah. Dang, so you can only have, 50 people?
Right. That's what it's looking like. 50, 60 people.
Ooh, child.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you know what? With a lot of our families being from New York and Kentucky, as far as traveling, not a lot of people are comfortable doing that right now. And as far as, people bouncing back from, a lot of people lost their jobs and things. So I think he and I are kind of at the space where who comes, and we'll be grateful for those who can make it. But for those who can't, I completely understand.
Well, just get your Cash App popping, yo. I mean, Cash App gifts.
Hello, send a gift.
Cash App gifts are accepted. We do Zelle. We do it all. Hey, you got to put it out there, Do you have a gift registry?
Right. We haven't created any because we already live together. That's another in our relationship. We, after dating 4 months, moved in together. We just knew.
You know what? I respect that type of movement. I was actually 6 months into dating my wife. I was already looking for a wedding ring, and I was not going for no cheap wire. I went all out, and even though she doesn't wear it, but hey, I don't wear mine either, so it's all good. But
we had that same conversation because he's so traditional. Where I'm from New York, I'm so chill. I'm like, if he doesn't wear his ring, it don't change nothing for me. Okay, I know you coming home to every night. I have full trust and confidence in you.
Let me tell you something.
For him, it's a symbol of pride. I want the world to know that I did that.
Do you know how many women I know that are doing the utmost with their wedding ring on, and dudes too? Some dudes take it off.
Right.
Why? I have no clue. I mean, for me personally, I just don't like wearing jewelry, and neither does she. And I also had my lawsuit while I was boxing. It's never been a really big deal, but when I did get a new wedding ring for our anniversary, apparently it was a big deal, and it was only a $25 ring. But yeah, I just happened to be in Walmart. I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let me get that anniversary gift. And she was really excited, and I still don't wear it.
It's the little things, right?
It's the little things, but I still don't wear it. I am blessed to have a very resilient and patient partner, and it sounds like you have the same in each other.
I think, honestly, we got together later in life. I'm in my 30s. He's older than I am. He's still younger than 40. Before meeting my fiance, I really took the time to get to know myself, know what I liked, what worked for me. That was a big part of navigating this relationship to this day.
You
know
are
what I mean?
talking the realest of real shit right there. I had a girlfriend way back in the days, and when we broke up, I actually went on a cruise by myself. I used to go out to restaurants by myself, go to the movies by myself, and I was really getting to know me, getting to know the shit that I don't want to deal with.
Hello, that
Willing
was
to
it.
accept. And that's how I actually met my wife. She was so cool, so easygoing. I took her on seriously. Well, she actually took me on a vacation to Jamaica, Rose Hall. We were there for 7 days, and I did not feel like just getting on a plane and leaving her there. It was a really cool, chill 7-day vacation with no stress, no pressure. And I was like, you know
That's
what?
so funny you mentioned that, because it was our first trip early in our relationship. So I guess maybe that's the thing people need to do when they're getting to know somebody, like get out the country and get to know them, simply because you kind of in the same place with somebody consistently without being in your own state or the distractions. It makes a difference.
It's a really big deal to go away with someone. You're on vacation, and then you see if this person farts in their sleep, if they brush their teeth when they wake up. You get to see.
You see all the red flags.
Yes.
You get to see, like, okay, well, you do this doesn't work for me, or you get to really. And then typically when people on vacation, they let loose in a way that if they were home, they really wouldn't. See a lot of different sides of the person you're still trying to get to know.
Very much. And when you say let loose, I had an ex. We went Cancun. We was at Senor Frog. She got up on stage and just started flashing everybody. I was like, oh, word?
Yeah, you're not the one.
I was like, oh, this is cool. I was like, that was a confirmation why this is not going anywhere. But it was cool, right? And she's a great person. She's probably listening to this, but she's a great person. Different times in our life, we do different things that may turn on or turn off a partner. But you guys went on this vacation, got to know each other, it seems like.
Yeah, and it really showed me in a lot of ways how traditional he is and how respectful he is. And, like, let me tell you, way more than I ever prayed for.
Well, let me ask you this, though.
And God makes no mistakes.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. And at the same time, he won't put you through more than you can handle. So let me ask you this. Have you guys had your first major argument?
In regards to what? Because, luckily, like, I'm not a fighty, argumentative person, and neither is he. So,
well, this is the thing. I always say the way that someone really feels about you is how they treat you when they're upset with you. The reason why I say that is, there is the recovery process. How do you treat me when you're upset? How do you treat me when you did some dumb shit and now you got to make up for it? Or I did something dumb. I'm trying to come to you. I know I did wrong. You know, how someone treats you during those turbulent times, I feel is a real show of how the person feels for you. Yes, you hurt me. No, I love you. Or yes, you hurt me.
That's real.
Or I hurt you. How are we going to recover from this? Yes, I did something that I shouldn't have done. But how are we going to recover? And mind you, in all this, I didn't say how am I. It's how are we? Because it's teamwork.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. Let me say this. My fiance is a Cancer. You know anything about Cancer people? They're overly emotional.
And what are you?
I'm Sagittarius.
Okay, I don't know anything about either one, but go ahead, tell me.
So Sagittarius people are more laid back. We're nonchalant. You know, not a lot is gonna rile me up.
Okay.
And we're super non-judgmental. I found that with us in communicating, we actually communicate when there's an issue. We talk about things. You know what I mean? Or he called me and say, "Look, babe, when you said this earlier, I didn't take the time, but it kind of rubbed me the wrong way." Like not for nothing.
That's what I had though.
And that's just how we communicate. Like there's no yelling in my house. There's no F you N-word and you such a bitch. No, there's none of that up in here. No, not at all.
Well, listen, if you guys are doing it in the heat of the moment, passionate moments, you know, while y'all tearing sheets, it's all good.
it's all good, right?
It's all good. F me, motherfucker. You better take this ass. All right, I feel you.
No, but as far as, I'm fortunate enough that, I think we understand how each other communicate and make it work for us. But as far as being argumentative, combative, we don't have that.
Does he have any kids?
It's not that. He does.
Oh, wow. How many?
Yes,
you said it like he got like 19. How many kids he got?
3.
Oh wow. So he has 3 kids. Was he married? All these from one young lady, or?
Oh, God bless. I say, and honestly, ladies, if you are saying, I'm not trying to date no man that's married and had kids, let me tell you, those brothers who are married and have kids, they have home training. So, if someone already did the work for you, so just be open-minded to that. But
there you go.
Yeah, he was actually married young, like 24, and he was married for like a couple of years. So yeah, he was married previously. So he has a 21-year-old in college, a 13-year-old, and and a 2-year-old.
And a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
wow.
I said. Like, he had no business being on that dating site when I met him.
Wow. So he was actually on the tail end of his past relationship, and it just wasn't working out. Have you met his ex-wife?
No, I have not.
Is
Luckily, we live in different states based off of what I know about her. So
Oh, okay.
I say luckily we're in different states.
Well,
But you know, it's not an issue where that's not an issue in our household in regards to your ex and no,
okay,
we
because
don't have a problem.
well, you know,
The boundaries are there.
you have a child, and he has children, both from previous relationships. You guys planning on, you know, throwing that thing in, throwing that javelin in, putting a bun in the oven?
No. Honestly, like I love parenting and also co-parenting. It's a beautiful experience that I get to be part of now. You know, the little one's life without me ever actually having to do it. I don't mind being a part-time parent.
You're like, there's no
Amazing.
swollen ankles here or anything like that. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like our family's the right size, and you know, he's a great parent, father to my son. So yeah,
That's pretty
no
cool.
more kids.
Wow.
We plan on traveling, building homes in different countries, and just like really enjoying life and continuing to watch the kids that we have now grow, but we're not adding any more.
That's pretty.
Knocking on wood.
I heard you actually knock on the wood. There's 4 kids all together. Do they all get along when they're in the same area?
Let me tell you how dope this is. So we get a little one like practically every weekend, right? His older son, Bryce, who's in college, is actually visiting now and spending the summer with us. It's actually a good dynamic.
Wow.
That he came and visited us last year, and I guess he was so comfortable, and he asked us like, "Yo, can I come kick with you guys for the summer?"
And
yeah.
wait, he's in his 20s?
Yeah, he's 20. Just turned 21.
Yo, he's 21. This is something, right? So he's 21 and he has a hot stepmom. What in the hell is going on? I've seen this in movies.
Let me say this. My fiance, to me, I tell him all the time, like, you don't have a preference, or I don't know, his baby moms in the past, they're Caucasian.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't think his type. I think my stepson's type.
There you go.
But
Well,
yeah, we have a very mixed and blended family.
That's beautiful. And I've met your fiance. He's super cool, super quiet dude too. He's really quiet.
I don't think he's quiet, but I think you're just a lot for a lot of people. So, in the first time meeting, I guess kind of trying to feel everybody out and kind of.
Said I'm a lot.
He can set it up with the best of our people.
bet.
Yeah, and that honestly, when we all met, he and I were actually just in the early stages of dating, like maybe 6 months in.
When we met out here in Orlando.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
early.
what's up. I thought he was probably like, yo,
Yeah,
who is this fool and where does she know him from?
Correct. Like, kind of put the pieces together. But definitely, it was like those conversations, like, where you know him from again, and where he lives at. This is in Tampa. Like, relax. He's staying in Orlando. That's where he lives.
Like, yeah, don't worry, not a threat. He is very far out the picture.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to get to know everyone, and of course, make a good impression. Like, okay,
I'm
y'all
gonna
like
say-
me, keep me around.
I'm gonna say I think he made a very good impression. Trying not to do too much is pretty good. You know, he seemed very mellow. And I think with that, you're taking somebody on the same way I said, the way how your friends or your family vibes with them. I think the same thing also goes with, can you bring this person around your friends? Can you? And it's just wild to me that you actually found all of this on Tinder.
Yes. But like I said, don't be going on there just thinking, it could be a complete waste of time. Advice. Do the research. Like, find out who you are, what your standards are, because it's easy to drop your standards when you're on a platform that you really don't understand, or you're just out there on dates wasting time. I wasn't about wasting time. It was like, I'm dating with intention. I know what I want, and anything less than that just won't do.
See, I think a lot of people are actually not on there looking for all that you are. With Tinder, I know there are other platforms, like I think Plenty of Fish or Cowgirls Wanted or Nuns that
my
need love.
understanding is that Plenty of Fish is like, that's for the heavyset girls, and then they have Match.com for like the 40 or people over 40.
Get out.
Like, I mean,
Really?
each site has their different.
I didn't know. So Plenty of Fish is for,
Yeah,
is for,
things that go with them.
heavy girls?
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard men say.
Wow. So,
It's like, oh, the girls on there all have just headshots. Like, they're a little on the chunky side.
oh, I'm learning a lot right now. Fill the world in. So what are the other ones? There's Plenty of Fish for the heavy girls, I guess. Match.com for over 40. What are some of the other sites?
Yeah, I can't even think. There's eHarmony is like for the super just religious and people who want to just write their whole life story, it's kind of like a blog in a sense.
Oh,
so I mean, it just depends on what works best for you, and I think why Tinder's so popular.
What about bangitup.com?
Easy. Never heard of it, and I don't even know why you even heard of that.
I just made it up. You're like, yo, bang it up. beatitup.com. Oh, that's for the really religious.
You're crazy.
Oh, man, that's what's up. Listen, man, I am really pleased to hear that this has really worked out. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for all of you guys. And when I say all of you, not just you, not just him, but for the kids, for your brothers, your sisters. It's always a blessing when good people come together and can find happiness and work.
Genuine happiness.
Genuine happiness. And it's not, I always tell people, listen, marriage is no walk in the park. It's no skipping through the daffodils. Yo, marriage is work.
Yes.
It's nonstop work. And when you find someone that's willing to work at it with you, you better hold on. It's a lot of, to me, I believe marriage is a lot of, sometimes you got to eat shit because there are times when you have served up some shit. So just know.
Correct.
When it's your time to eat, know that you did serve it one time. So put your bib on, grab your knife and fork.
I'm going to write that down. Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's challenging, but when you find someone that's willing and patient enough to work it out with you and go through the tough times, you have yourself a true diamond in the rough. And I appreciate you guys having the event. I really hope this whole COVID-19 stuff is through and you guys can have a beautiful day. I'm hoping to be there. My wife's birthday is on the 21st. No, I'm sorry. Ooh, I almost got myself in trouble. My wife's birthday is the 23rd, and my daughter is the 21st.
Okay.
So that's
I hope you girls and everybody, can kind of carve out a couple hours on that day.
Now, you know this is anonymous. Ain't nobody supposed to be knowing my wife's name, but...
oh, my bad. Cut it out.
Take that part out. Listen, man, I do amazing things. I make amazing things happen, and more than likely, I do believe that we're going to be there. I will just be making a full weekend out of it in which we blend it all up. We blend it all up.
Come through for sure.
You ain't lying. But I appreciate you talking sweet with Sweet Baby Jay, taking the time. Tell us your story on finding love in a peculiar, not so peculiar spot where people are usually looking to bang. You found a boss.
Hello. Great talking to you.
There you go. Thanks a lot, love. Hey, listen, anybody ever want to call in for an anonymous interview, hit us up, 669-241-1422. Nothing's off the table when talking sweet.